All right, I am just about to start my trip down the river, and I'm going to shoot my way down, hopefully getting me a couple of ducks. Maybe I'll try and find some grouse. Who knows? Late start today. But here's my boat. Here's the way too much gear I brought, but it'll make things a little more comfortable, a little more fun. 870 there. And we're going to be going down that way. I'll catch up with you soon. Well, that sign says, Danger Rapids, Camp G Portage. And I hear rapids. And there's supposed to only be one or two. It says I can take them on the left. Let me check it out. Low and slow. Portage, rapids. GoPro is on. Rapids ahead. Tomfoolery I can get myself into here. It says I can take it on the left. They look a little bit more than what I was expecting for a class 1 or 2. But what the fuck do I know? Hit it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I see the open chute there. Got a lot of gear in my canoe to be fucking this up. I'm gonna stay real wide here for a second so I can get out of here if I have to. Holy shnikes. Those do seem pretty quick. It's short, and a pretty clear chute. I think I'm gonna go for it. I see my path kind of going from there out there. This could be a really bad idea. Maybe I'm full of regret. Mess my canoe up, and I don't want to lose any gear. I don't want to die either. Well, some days I do. Once I go, there's no turning back. Just go for it. So focused on this little spot, I missed those other rocks. I'm just gonna try and dump this right over here. I'm more or less in the clear. I'm just stuck on a shelf. Yeah, come on. Whew. That heavy backhand made her a little tough. So, starts left, go center. Whew, let's see the damage. This is what I just went through. Whew. I don't think I would have been so worried if I didn't have so much gear, because it really wasn't that bad. Alright. Do have a little adrenaline shake after that, so just nerves really. But I guess that's it, unless I see a duck or something. I did spook a grouse and saw some otters, but wasn't able to get them on film. So I keep going a little bit, and then I'll probably see you again next set of rapids I hit. There is supposed to be another one just before my camp, but they say they're pretty chill too. We'll see. Well, that's my next bit of river. Long stretch of what's listed as class 2 rapids. The river's low, which makes me think they're moving a little bit slower. That also makes the lower rocks a little more dangerous. I'm in an eddy right now, just before them. Just kind of spinning. It's because my ass is heavy and it wants to go first, and that's no good. But there's a portage and a campsite right there. I think that's the safe bet. A little otter. There's 2 of them. He's on his back cleaning his face. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, I just missed him. That's pretty cool. Those 2 otters, they're being so cool. You can get real close. It's really hard. I'm trying to paddle and videotape this with my phone because I think my GoPro's just messing up. Oh, he's not happy with me now. It's okay, bud. Oh, that one's got a freaking clam. Or a mussel. In its mouth. It's like they didn't realize I was coming up to them. Well, they're probably gone now. Oh, there it is. I hope you can hear that. It's so funny. Alright. I gotta stop recording because this is really tough to paddle and record at the same time. And I gotta scope out a spot to hunt and get to my campsite. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, I am at camp. Have been for a little bit now. It's getting late. It's definitely dinner time. Probably not gonna have time to get a fire going considering how wet everything is, and I've had no time to look for wood. Got me a pooper back there. Got me a pretty boss hammock set up here. I'm thinking I could pin that tie out instead of that tie out. It'll kind of loft everything a little bit better for me, but I'm pretty happy with this. Let's take a peek on the inside. Alright, I got a chair, coat, waders, all under this beautiful tarp. Hammock. That's my sleeping bag and under quilt. That's my view. Not a bad setup. I'll probably cook and chill and have a couple drinks under here tonight. Take it easy. Goal is early morning duck hunt on the lake. That's just back through those trees there. This four-wheeler path goes to the right and left. If you go to the right, it crosses the confluence of the creek coming out of the lake I'm going to hunt and the river. And then my boat's down there in the weeds. Alright, I'm back from my duck hunt this morning. Got me a couple of coot breasts. I'm gonna let them soak for a while in some water, draw some of the blood out. And when I have a beer, I'll dump the water, let them soak in some beer. Sugars and alcohol should tenderize the meat, give it a little bit of flavor, and that will be part of dinner. And it's still morning, I guess, so no beers yet. Planning on doing a walk, see if I can't get a squirrel or grouse. Would be so cool. But all I got is my shotgun and my slingshot, which I don't know how to use very well. The slingshot, I mean, not that I'm proficient at the shotgun. So I'm going to do a little practice. There's a couple of cans over there. I think I was a little left and a little, oh, just a little left maybe. Try this again. So I was actually aiming at the left can, so I'm definitely shooting right. Still, it was fun to watch. Hope that came off on the video. Hope I'm recording. That's a perfect shot. Right where I wanted it. That was fun, so I saved those cans. Eventually I'll crush them and bring them out with me. Because I'm not a heathen like these goobers. Leaving trash everywhere. Oh, hey, let me show you my abode. I went over it a little bit last night, but it's getting late and it was wet. So I don't know how good that video is. So this is my massive Noah's 12 tarp from Kelty. It's a good tarp. I got it cheap several years ago before those sill nylon tarps really kicked off. So the middle ridge line is just before my actual ridge line, and then I have the ends tied down on the corners there. Helps with the wind, helps with the rain shed. And inside is my hammock. A Got pretty cold last night, but I was cozy in there. Got a old 32-degree bag that I used as my top quilt. Actually, I used it like a sleeping bag, but... And then, I think that's a 20-something underquilt. And then I had a stocking cap on, and I was cozy. I sat under there, about where that pot is, if you can see that. Last night, just kind of watching the water flow by, and ate my ramen and dehydrated chicken and veggies. And a beer. It's good. Alrighty. Back from a little walkabout. And didn't really see anything other than some red squirrels that I have to go off trail to get, and frankly, a red squirrel's not really worth it. If it was in range on trail, I might have tried with the slingshot to get them. But as it happens, they weren't, so I didn't, which I probably would have missed anyway. So I did spook up a grouse just outside my camp, like a 30-second walk from my camp, and it was in the woods. I never even saw it until it fluttered, but it was too far in the woods probably for a clean shot anyway, and then it flew through the woods across the trail, and I tried finding him, but no luck. Either he kept going or he hunkered down. But now we got these guys. I've drained the kind of, it was like you can see a little bit in the corner there, like a coppery water out of there, and I'm going to pour a little bit of this beer in here, just enough for them to soak in. I don't want to waste all my good beer on these guys, but I do want them to be basted and tasty. So haven't quite decided what to do as far as cooking them goes. I think I'm going to just saute them up with some lard. And then, this is not zipping. Zip ding you. There we go. Let those guys just kind of sit in that. Get all tasty. Really got to Dr. Coot, I feel like, or do something with them. You can't just have them plain. I mean, you can. They just don't taste very good. But I'm going to show you what I put in there. One of Founder's special releases. Feel like it's pretty fitting, don't you? Anyway, considering it's coot breast in there, even more fitting, you know, because he's an old coot. But that's basically it. I did find some mushrooms that I kept. This is my foraging bag I keep on my hip while I'm walking around out there. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my lobster mushroom got all beat up. Ugh, and it left crud everywhere, which I suppose is to be expected. It's already a dematerializing mushroom. Anyway, as I understand it, this is a fungus on a fungus. That's the lobster mushroom. Has a little bit of a seafood smell to it. Now that it's all beat up and don't have it shaped to identify, I think I'm gonna pitch it. I was debating on sauteing that up with the coot, but otherwise, some turkey tail, a little bit of lobster mushroom stuck to it. I'll probably clean that off with my knife, and then tear these up and do a hot water extract tea. It's tea. Anyway, as you can see, very, very tiny polypore. Those are actually tiny little pores in this. And the tops are a little bit, these are a little more leathery, but they do have a felt kind of feel to them, like just ever so slight. Tiny little fuzzy. But I'm going to double check. I don't know what else they could be. In the old mushroom guide here. Well, checking back in. Actually, I'm rechecking in. I just did a accidental time-lapse video. And maybe that'll go in, I don't know. But making some quinoa, ooh, which looks like it's about done. Better get that off before it burns. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that quinoa is about done. I had some water rip-roaring in here, and could use a little more dehydrated. It's a little, well, it's not even soupy. I think it's good. I'm gonna cover that, set it aside here where it can stay a little bit warm, and then I think I'm gonna throw my coot on. Let's get some coals under there. My fire's getting real low. I better throw some wood on. I did bring an axe and a saw, and I brought them out into the woods, and I was gonna get me some wood. Then I found a ton of fallen trees with limbs sticking up that are, I mean, more than adequate for a small fire to go for a couple hours. Well, maybe, yeah, a couple hours I think is fair. So I got that fire rip roaring unnecessarily with these items here. Got a fire steel and this little Bushcraft match, I think it's called, or something along that lines. Basically it's some wax twine. I don't know if there's an accelerant in there apart from the paraffin, but anyway, you fray this out and you strike it with this. Ooh, swing and a miss. There you go. Get that going, along with some birch bark, some small twigs coated in old man's beer, basically this stuff right here. And you saw that video earlier, that fire just zipping. So, well, maybe we should get the coot ready, huh? Basically, I'm gonna take these bad boys out of their boozy incarceration. Oh, probably shouldn't dump it by the water. Don't want my fans getting mad. Fans, you know. A couple of family members that might know about this. Those are my fans. And they're only my fans because they gotta be. So this coot earlier was nice and pale after being soaked in water for a couple hours. And then it got a couple hours soak in some Backwoods Bastard beer. I'm gonna pull these bad boys out. Make sure they don't have anything stuck to them. I don't feel any shot in the breasts. So anything that did go in there went right through. And anything else will get burned off. I'm thinking a little bit of blackened seasoning will do the trick. So let's see here. I go for a couple of pinches, probably ruining the blackening my seasoning pouch altogether by sticking my hand straight in there. I'll do some of this now that my hands are all grubby, which I guess they kind of already were, but we don't need to talk about that. Said a little, kind of looks like a lot. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of rubbing it in and trying to rub some of it off because I put a lot on there by accident. Those suckers are ready to go on, I think. So let's throw that off to the side. Oh, got the tiniest little paper cut on my finger from pulling grass for my blind. And boy, does it sting. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle. Couple of coot teats right on there. I gotta go rinse my hands or something. Whew. It's a little smoky. I'm trying to keep it to embers. I want to keep it manageable while I'm cooking. I don't know if you noticed my sweet shoes. Some cheap down-lined, down-insulated, lightweight slippers that I bought on Amazon. Camp King or some garbage. I don't know. But actually, I really like them. Been wearing them all year. I'm gonna start wearing them. Early summer, late spring. And folks got a little cabin. I wore it. Man, I think maybe last year out there too. But I like them. They're cozy. See if you can. That's what I'm talking about. They're not the prettiest things, or maybe they're a little too pretty. I don't know. But I've been rocking them. I'm about done with this beer, which is perfect. And then I'm going to switch to a backwoods bastard to go with my backwoods bastard coots. So let's go find me one of those. As in being the classic ill-prepared boob that I am, I way overpacked and still ended up missing things. But as you can see, I take my trash with me. Unlike some of these jagaloons I mentioned before that just leave cans, and I saw a grill lid off over that way earlier. Just disappointing. But can't point too many fingers because I brought glass on the river. Don't tell anybody. But I'm trying to be responsible. I'm only drinking the glass, only getting into the glass here at camp where things are contained. And I am packing it out inside the cooler, so even if it does break, God forbid, comes out with me all the little shards. Well, that coot's coming along. Now that my hands are dried off, put this stuff away. Brought a handful of seasonings. I could have sworn I had some bourbon, like bourbon steak seasoning. That's what I wanted to put on these, but I don't have it. I was mistaken. It's not in there. Actually, I'll probably get home and it'll show up and ruin my day. Oh, it won't ruin my day, but I'll be like, oh, I can't believe I did that. All right, let's take a peek. That guy's shrunk up. Oh no! Quick, get him out! Oh God, stupid bent tongs. Oh God, he's in there. He's in there. Oh, he's ashy. Oh God, I still can't get him out. There we go. Put him over there. These guys might be a little overdone, huh? A little crispy. That guy's a little ashy. I'll still try and eat him. We'll see how it goes. Get them away from the fire a little bit because they are, these little nuggets are burning up quick. So it's almost dinner time apparently. Those suckers are cooking fast. Get those flames away from it. Just want some coals in there. Get this guy way away. You know, I used these last night to eat ramen and it was fine. But when I'm in a pinch, The curves are killing me. I gotta try and eat with these. Maybe I'll get some. There we go. Get you away from the fire. Yeah, that grate's still hot over there, enough to make it sizzle, so should be hot enough to do the trick. Hopefully slow the cook down a little bit. But I gotta maintain a fire on this side, just for the spectacular of it. I have plenty of wood to go, at least into dark, and I'm gonna call it an early night. Shortly after sunset, I imagine, shortly after the pitch black. These are too long, I'm breaking these. My tiny fire pit, which actually shrunk down a little bit from what it was. Didn't really have enough rocks to constitute the hole that it was making, and there had already been, it was really just scattered, so pieced it together to a small one, which better suits my wood and my purposes. But yeah, that's basically it. Once that's done, I'll probably bring it back up just so you can see the majesty of my coot nuggets and quinoa. All right, welcome back again. So here's dinner. Pile of quinoa and a couple of overcooked coot breasts. And I already took a bite or two. They were bigger, but as I was trying to say earlier, these will either be the best or just as bad as any other. Not bad. Tastes pretty ducky. A little bit of spice from the blackened seasoning. It's definitely, even though it's overcooked, it's definitely a little more tender than duck normally is. I don't know if that's because it's coot and not duck, or if it's because of the booze bath. I'm gonna say it's because of the booze bath, I'd imagine. Actually, the only other time I did these guys, they were still pretty, no, this is about how they were. Maybe that's just how they are. But they were in a booze bath too. Who knows? So, I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe you can see it in the video. The river map says that this campsite is on the left bank. That's upriver, and that's downriver. That makes this the right bank. Now, I'm inclined to think that they moved it because of the four-wheeler trails, which actually I had some visitors today. Big pile of folk on four-wheelers. I think I spoke to the head of the family, or the elder, old grandpap. Nice guy. But anywho, I bet you there's 3 generations there. Anyway, now that I'm sitting here looking, I think that right there is the old campsite. Directly across the river. Bank's definitely a lot easier to get up than the one in front of this campsite. Luckily the four-wheeler trail there goes right into the water, so that's pretty easy to get up. Oh yeah, that guy's a little charred. But tastes even better. Flame broiled. Extra crispy. Christ, that's a tiny amount of meat. Might have been a good idea to do like a soup. I have some ramen. Could have done some ramen. Thrown those guys in with the breastbone still on. Boil them for a bit till they're cooked. Shred them off the breastbone. Add the ramen and the ramen seasoning. Probably would have done the trick. Ideas for next time. Well, you don't need to listen to me chew quinoa, so I think I'll put you down for a bit. Well, in case I failed to mention, I did bust out the other Backwoods Bastard by Founders. Oh, pileated. Oh, I hope you see that. I've been seeing them zipping around all day. First time it freaked me out a little bit. I almost took a shot, except it was way out of range and I'm a terrible shot. So, anywho, Founders Backwoods Bastard, which is what I marinated that breast in. You know, I felt like it was fitting to drink. And being a bit of a backwoods bastard. Do you hear that, pileated? He's laughing at me. I guess it's a good time to shut the camera off then. Okay. It's been a little bit since I ate. Almost done with my beer. I'm like half done, which is okay, because it's going to take about a half hour, 45 minutes. Got a nice simmer going in my water. And so what I'm going to do, tear up this turkey tail. I should grab the lid for this, huh? Finish tearing this up. I'm going to make hot water extract. Just tea, basically. When the turkey tail's done, and then the echinacea will go in as it cools for the last 15 minutes, and then the ginger, cinnamon, all that will join it. Nice thing about these little twig fires, these little one-man twig fires, is you'll never get bored. I'm constantly feeding these things. I got two more big wet guys here I might add on while the fire's ripping. Kind of get them drying and burning. It's gonna be good. It's definitely a good fire. It'll be good tea. If not, I'll have the poops in the morning, I bet. Which would suck, because I got a lot of portages tomorrow. I had 2 or 3. First one's pretty short, 200-yard portage. Oh, the moon. That's how these river mats list them, by yards, rather than rods, which I kind of like rods. But anyway, got a 200, and then I think the second portage I have is ridiculous. It's like 1380 or something, which I think is a mile. Not sure. But, oh look, a star. I bet you that's a planet. Anyway, a lot of walking tomorrow. About as much walking as paddling. And then a camp, and then another section that's questionable on whether I'll have to portage it or not. I'll likely have to portage it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll clue you guys in on that. Showed you guys that that first set of rapids that I went down, which were a little frightful, but actually not that hard. Just got my adrenaline pumping. And then I had a second set of rapids I went through. I tried to clue you guys in on, and then the third one made me nervous, so I portaged around it, though I think it would have been doable. Said it was a 400-yard portage, ended up being 3 and change. I measured it on an app. And that one wasn't terrible. It was all four-wheeler trail. Oh, the hunt this morning. I don't know if I don't think I clued you guys in on that. If I did, I'll edit this part out. But I went out early, got set up, I don't know, 40 minutes before shooting light. And man, I was real confident in my setup at first. And then as it goes, once the sun came up, I realized it wasn't great. But I sat it out, and shortly after sunrise, a flock of, I think they were woodies, but I don't know for sure. Could have been mallards. They flew through and buzzed me a couple of times. Might have been 8 of them. Before deciding that there was nowhere for them to land comfortably, and they went to the opposite side of the lake, and holy heck did that get my goat. So I changed my setup a little bit. Those ducks flew off the lake, and then some swans came in, and I didn't see a thing after that until the coot came swimming up from the river into the lake, and then up the lake into my set. Then I lit him up. One shot, clean kill. Not so much as a nerve flick afterwards. He just went belly up. Easy clean. You stand on their wings, grab their feet, and give them a yank. And they just zip right out of their clothes. And so I got the coot. Otherwise, it's been quiet. Alright, I'll check back with you guys when the turkey's done. Alright. What I've got in there is the 2 echinacea tea bags. All that turkey's still sitting at the bottom. Turkey tail. And then 1, 2, 3 slices of dehydrated lemon. And a nice good pinch of dehydrated ginger. And it's more ginger than it looks. It's just, man, this is tough. More dehydrated ginger than it looks, but apparently when you dehydrate stuff it shrinks significantly. And lemon turns brown and burns easy, so that's what I'm dealing with. Oh yeah, the cinnamon stick. Did I mention the cinnamon stick? It's in there. I tell you, this is a real mind F trying to use a headlamp, my phone, and then a chopstick all at the same time. I'm getting pretty good at it though. Lemon over here. Cha, 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 cha. Here, cha. And here, cha, 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 cha. Oh yeah, it's getting nice and soft pretty quick. So I'm going to put it close to the fire. Let it go for at least another 15 minutes. The turkey went by itself for 30, so I think this will be pretty good. All right. It's getting close to the tea being ready, and it's getting a bit late. It's 7:30. Ooh. My bee-free water purifier. It's pretty all right. It's convenient for a solo person on a river, or if you got lots of lakes that you're okay with, but man, is it slow. It was really great when I first got it, but it has, yeah, that crud's just in there, but the coffee's mostly gone. It was great when I first got it, first started using it, but it didn't even make it a full trip, a full week. Danger zone, danger zone. Put you down. Didn't even make it a week-long trip before it started getting, I mean, it was almost right away that it started getting really slow. Ooh, missed a little bit. So, there goes my tea. And it should be less than 2 cups. It's a nice, like, well-hydrated pea color. If you were to drink the adequate amount of water, that's what your urine would look like. Oh, dang, dip, those are hot. I want every splash of juice I can get without getting chunks in there, which is especially hard one-handed. No chunks. I might throw the cinnamon stick and lemon in there for added continued flavor. Drip, drip, drip. Good enough, I guess. There's the aftermath. Oh man, I wish you could smell it. It smells great. I'm gonna smell this. Oh, lemon and ginger for days is what that smells like. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick out the cinnamon stick, throw that in, the lemon, throw that in, and this guy. I'll make sure there's no, I don't really want mushroom bits in there. No turkey. Ding ding, turkey's done. And no one gets that reference. I'm probably referencing the reference. But it's my reference is from Employee of the Month with Dane Cook. They're talking about that female actress that's in it. I don't fucking remember her name. But anyway, talking about her being, I don't know, the cold food section or something. You get it. Ding ding. Turkey's done. Alright, these have cooled off a little bit, so let's squeeze all the life out of those. Oh gosh, they've not cooled down enough. So that's just herbs and paper and twine and more paper. So it's going in the fire. Boom! It'll smell good. It'll take days to burn. Alright, there's still a couple pieces of ginger left in there, but it's mostly mushroom. So I'll wash that out. Now we need the whiskey. And for that, let's see if I can wedge this in my... Here comes the whiskey. And I'm going to measure it because I don't want to overdo it. I want at least 2 ounces. Well, let me show you my whiskey container first off. Pretty sweet, right? That is an animation of the vascular system. I didn't request that. That's just how it came. And I'm cool with it because it was free. And it's actually pretty good. It's not 100%. But what is? So this little MSR scoop has graduations on it. And man, I don't know if you can make that out. But I'm going for the 1/4, which is the first line before the top. The top is 1/3. 1/4 is 2 ounces. Which is about what I want. So we'll start with that. And this stuff is cold because it's been in the cooler. But I'm not going to drink it through the top, but I'm going to put the top on so I can give it a shake to mix it. There it goes. Top's going on. Beauty. Shaker, shaker, shaker. Ooh, excuse me. I love this flask, by the way. This tumbler, this thermos. Oh yeah, that's tasty. I'm actually really surprised at how much the lemon comes through. I was worried I wouldn't notice it because of the, dehydration and the fact that it looks like it's been burnt. But the lemon really comes through. Aromatic ginger in there too. That is tasty. It could use a dip more of the whiskey though. So this whiskey was originally Jameson, but as that distiller does, I took their, I got no idea what I want to measure this out to. 1 ounce is 1/8 of a cup. Which is 2 tablespoons. Hey, that's marked. I'm gonna need my headlamp for this one, so sorry you're gonna miss out on it. So there's about 1 ounce, 50% more alcohol. Brr, 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 brr. Let's face it, it's not alcohol, it's whiskey. But anyway, as I was saying, this whiskey was originally Jameson, but I used a cask from home that I purchased online. Oh, actually, it was gifted to me. But I aged the Jameson in it, and I have no idea for how long because it's actually kind of a blend. Some of it's been aged for months, a very small amount. Some of it for less than that, and some more of it even less than that. But I did something pretty fancy with it. I put bourbon in it in my barrel for the first 30 days so that it would be a bourbon barrel aged whiskey. Ooh, that's good. Oh man, I could drink that all day, every day, 4 days. Anyway, Used a small local distiller. Had a very unique whiskey. And the first bit that I pulled out was, after 30 days. Very aromatic, very floral, very good. But I actually still have that bourbon. I just don't use it for anything. But I've since made my first batch of whiskey after that. Was in there for 30 days. And oh my gosh, that stuff was intense. Some people I shared it with found it to be a little much for them. But they're crazy. It had so much going on. I suppose that was the problem. Too much going on. It's very good. This last batch, what's in that bottle, however, is a little disappointing. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's very Jameson-y and a little more floral, but nothing impressive. Anyway, I got my pocket pillows here. Let's see if I can get this fire going again. I talked it to death, apparently. Hope you guys don't have the same opinion. Well, there is the start of a fire, for sure. Probably give it a couple more puffs off camera. I'm tired of holding this and trying to work at the same time. It's not working. Anyway, you guys have a good night. I think I'm going to call it quits after this and enjoy my delicious backwoods toddy, I guess. I'll call it a backwoods toddy. I don't give a crap. A backwoods take on a classic hot toddy. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy that. Enjoy this last little bit of my twigs burning. And then it's off to bed. Ought to be in there before 9. It's 7:45 right now. So, good hanging out, guys. Oh, God. Yeah, that's going. I don't even need to blow on that. Nighty-night. But what I really wanted to show you, or let you experience, is that sound. There's essentially no wind. What I'm hearing is the rapids I portaged to get to this spot, and the rapids I have to portage tomorrow. They are boisterous. Anyway, I'm headed to bed. The fire is all but out. I'm going to go rinse the mushroom out of my pot and dump a little water on these embers just to be safe. Head to bed. Thanks for checking it out.